Hello and welcome to a new video. This video comes with some amazing news. It'll be a weekly series. I know. You're all thinking to yourselves,
"Well, Penny and Lane, you never upload that consistently."
my response, you're right. I never do. But we'll see if this actually works. And if it doesn't, then you just proved yourself right. But drumroll, please. The new series is a Beatles album review. Yes. Every single Beatles album, studio album, all 13. As a Beatles expert myself, I think I have the authority to do a series like this. And it's a Penny Lane video, so we'll be stealing from another creator. My creator is listed as an inspiration on my channel. A true inspiration. Former Broadway star J.T. Curtis. Woo, yay. Give a big round of applause. This is the man who came up with the scoring rubric, how we will score the albums. On a scale of worst is rotten apple, middle is spotted apple, and the best is bright, juicy, delicious red apple. Now, if I give the record a red apple, I'm saying go out right now and buy this record on vinyl. If it's a spotted apple, that means listen to this album however way you want, but you've got to listen to it. You don't have to buy it. And if it's a moldy, rotten apple, then don't listen to it. It's not worth your time. Now, we're starting in chronological order with, you guessed it, Please Please Me. And in fact, right here in the studio, I have with me an original 1962 vinyl release of the record. Well, not Please Please Me. The American Capitol Records counterpart. Introducing the Beatles. There's probably some B-roll going on right now, and that title, Introducing the Beatles, is very fitting for this video because we are introducing this series. So, in fact, I did a presentation on the album Please Please Me for school. So this episode in particular will be a breeze. But first, a brief synopsis of the entire Beatles themselves. And before Please Please Me. John Lennon was born in 1941 and was the child of Alf and Julia Lennon, though raised by his Aunt Mimi. Paul McCartney was born in 1942 and was the child of James and Mary McCartney. Sadly, his mother, Mary, died when he was 14. George Harrison, born in 1943, the child of Harold Harrison and Louise French. And, of course, Ringo was born in 1940, the eldest of the Beatles, and was the soul. I don't know if he was soul or not. And was the child of Richard Starkey, his namesake, and Elise Starkey. Now, the Beatles, not the members. In 1960, the Beatles started about a 2-year residency in the Star Club. This gave them great exposure and a steady income. While in Hamburg, they were first recorded. Beatles were recorded as the background group for Tony Sheridan. The group got their manager, Brian Epstein, while performing at the Cavern, a popular club in Liverpool, where the Beatles got their start. It was that manager that got the group their recording deal, Please Please Me with EMI. And here is a clip of George Martin and Paul McCartney talking.
But it was quite normal in those days to find material for artists by going to Tin Pan Alley and listening to all the publishers' wares. I mean, that was a regular part of my life. I would spend a long time looking for songs. And the songs I was looking for the Beatles was really a hit song. It didn't matter, so long as it suited the group. And Love Me Do, as I say, was the best one they were able to offer. The kind of song I was looking for, I did actually find. And that was a song by Mitch Murray called How Do You Do It? And I was convinced this was a hit song.
How do you do what you do to me? I wish I knew if I knew.
Not a great piece of songwriting, it wasn't the most marvellous song I'd ever heard in my life, but I thought it had that essential element which would appeal to a lot of people. And we did record it. John
We said, yeah, but we cannot go back up to Liverpool singing that. We cannot be seen with that song.
So we never issued How Do You Do It, but I did later give it to Jerry and the Pacemakers, and it did become #1.
How do you do what you do to me? I wish I knew. If I knew how you do it to me, I'd do it to you.
So George Martin says, well, have you got anything you'd like to do? We said, we've got a song called Please Please Me. This is one John had just written. And it was kind of slow Roy Orbison kind of thing. Come on, jum jum, come on, please please me. Big note at the end, just like Orbison.
And I'd heard Roy Orbison doing Only the Lonely or something, and I was trying to please me. That's where that came from. And also, I was always intrigued by the words of "Please lend your little ears to my please," Bing Crosby songs. I was always intrigued by the double use of the word please.
And I said, okay, we'll give it a whirl. Let's try your song. Let's see if it works. And we did. And at the end of that session, I was able to say to them, you got your first #1. Great.
Beatles influences. The Beatles influences definitely affected the sound of their first record. Influences include Bach, though surprising, yes, it's true, Bach. Chuck Berry, of course, the true king of rock and roll. And the false king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley. I've heard the movie is terrible. Baz Luhrmann, not a great director. Now, the main part of the review, main part of the video, the review. We will go track by track. Then at the end, I'll say standout tracks and the worst tracks. So, let's start. Track number 1 on the album, I Saw Her Standing There. This is a great song, though it starts off kind of bad. Musically, it's great all the way through, but lyrically, Quote, she was just 17, if you know what I mean. End quote. Now, geez, come on, guys. Other than the slight stuff at the start, it's an amazing song. Really, really, really good. Moving on, we have Misery. This is one of those songs that is totally underrated. Like, the way it starts is great with the choir vocals. It's an all in all great upbeat sad song, so I totally rate it. As you can see, we're going through the songs quite quickly. Next up, Anna Go To Him. Anna Go To Him is a great song, one of the more popular songs of the record. George's guitar playing on this track is great, phenomenal you could say, and Lennon's vocals phenomenal as well. It was destined to be a hit, and is worthy of that hit status. To the first Harrison-sung song of the record, Chains. Chains is another one of those underrated songs by the Beatles. Lead vocals are by George, but John's voice in this track is incredible. He has the second loudest voice, supporting George with gang vocals and on backup, and he's great. Song also has some subversion of where you think it will go. Though I talked up John's vocals, George's vocals cannot be understated. I think George has the in amazing voice, and yeah, we'll obviously see that in weeks to come. Boys. Well, I'm talking about boys now. What a bundle of joy. Wow. This was a hit too, and for good reason. Ringo's vocals are great. Ringo always wanted to sing, and when he did, he really sang. It's a great song with great rhythm, and everyone should listen to the classic Beatles track. We're going to skip Ask Me Why and go to the next great track. This track. This is the title of the album, the song of all songs on this album. Please Please Me. The riff, amazing. The vocals amazing, and the layered harmonica, mouthy if you're from Liverpool, on top of the guitar riff. Oh, it's just incredible. And the chorus call and response, that's very good too. This song is a contender for the best song on the album. Moving on. Love Me Do. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. Not that song by Elvis, but Love Me Do. One of the other contenders for best song with an intro like that. Love Me Do makes being the first Beatles single a worthy spot on the 1962 charts. To start the second side off with a bang, Love Me Do is a great song to do that with. John Lennon's voice and mouthy playing are perfect for this song, with Paul and George's backups being great. Now, sadly, the rest of the B-side is not nearly as good. The A-side is just beats it every time. So we're jumping right into A Taste of Honey. A Taste of Honey. Ooh, that intro. A medieval feel. It's absolute perfection. Perfection like George's guitar and the backup vocals. But don't even get me started on the lead, Paul McCartney's vocals. The do-do's are just perfect in an amazing slower song for the album. Well, shake it up, baby, now, because it's Twist and Shout. Twist and Shout. This is the greatest cover of all time. And I feel comfortable saying that. Though there are some close ones, notably Wilson Pickett's Hey Jude, a cover of a Beatles song. Hey Jude, which had Duane Allman, an amazing guitar player, on guitar. But nothing can possibly top Twist and Shout. This is the first song I can ever remember hearing, and I was absolutely hooked. George's guitar solo is scrumptious, and the layering of the ahs. Then, before the chorus, John goes into the John scream. Wow. Wow. What an amazing song. Many people believe that this is the Beatles at its basic, raw goodness. And to be honest, to be frank, I agree. This is the best song in the album. And it's the last song of the album, which leads us to our complete, finished album review. This album is great, and as you can tell, the first side is my favorite. There are low spots, but all in all, this album is amazing, red, juicy, delicious apple. Go out and find this record on vinyl because it's so worth it. For our notable tracks, we have A Taste of Honey and Twist and Shout. But for our number one best track on this album, we have love me do. You know I love you, love me do. This has been my review of the Beatles, Please Please Me. Thank you so much for watching, and stick around for the next installations in this great series. And next is with the Beatles.